Hi everybody. Warmer weather is here, so it's time to start doing some outdoor projects around the house. And one of the things on my honey-do list is to make a screen door for our back patio door. This door is part of a bay window, so the door opening is not as wide as your average standard door. So I can't just go out and buy a door that will fit, so I'm going to have to make one that's a custom size. So to get started, I'm going to make some measurements of this door opening. To measure for a screen door, make sure you're measuring inside the casing where the screen door is going to fit. And you'll want to make a measurement at the very top. So this one is 24 3/16. Then you'll want to make a measurement in the middle, and here we have 24 1/16. Then you'll want to take another measurement at the very bottom, and I've got 24 2/16. And it also looks like I need to paint the trim and do some repairs down here, but that's going to be a project for another day. Now I'm measuring the height of both sides of the door. Now on the left side, I've got 80 3/4, and on the right side, I've got 80 3/4. So here are my measurements, and the smallest width was 24 1/16 inches. And the general rule is you subtract a 1/4 inch from your smallest width to get the width of your door. So I've got 23 13/16 inches. For the height, on both sides I got 80 3/4 inches. So the general rule for the height is to subtract a 1/2 inch. So I end up with 80 1/4 inches tall for the door. The previous screen door we had was made out of 1-inch thick lumber, and I wasn't sure if I'd be able to find that or not, but I headed over to Lowe's and I found this southern yellow pine that is actually 1-inch thick, and it's 3.5 inches wide, and it comes in 9-foot lengths, and each board was about $9. So I bought 3 boards, and this is what I'm going to use to make the screen door. So let's head over to the miter saw and let's cut our pieces. Here's a quick sketch of the door, and I'm going to join it together with pocket screws. And remember, it needs to be 23 13/16 inches wide, and I need to subtract 7 for the width of the vertical pieces, and that gives me the dimension here, which is 16 13/16 inches. So I'm going to have to cut 4 cross pieces, one for the top, one for the middle, and I'm going to double them up at the bottom to create sort of a kick plate. Alright, I've got the double piece for the bottom glued up, and I've also got my middle piece and top piece here, and I'm going to use my Kreg Jig to drill pocket holes. To assemble the screen door, I'm using pocket screws with the addition of some Type Bond 3 and these little sample bottles that I got at the woodworking show. I'm going to paint the screen door white with some of this exterior semi-gloss enamel. Well, it's been a few days since I painted the door frame, and it's dry, so now I need to work on the screens that are going to cover the openings. Our old screen door used these aluminum screen frames, and the screen material was held in by this spline. So I'm going to use that same concept and use this leftover southern yellow pine and cut some 1/4 inch strips and make my own wooden frames. And I can cut a groove into the wood that will hold the spline material. Here's my test piece, and it's a 1/4 inch strip of that southern yellow pine with a groove cut in it over at the table saw. And basically I'm just going to lay the screen material over the groove and use the spline material and this tool to fasten the screen material into the frame. use the door openings to measure for the frames. So I've cut a 45-degree miter at the end of this strip, and I'm just going to line it up with the corner and then mark where my other 45-degree miter needs to be. And I'm going to repeat that until I get all the sides cut for both frames. Now I'm just going to glue the mitered corners together. Well, I've got the screen door installed, and I was able to use the hinges, the door closer, and the latch handle from the old screen door. So really all I had to buy was the lumber, the screen, and the spline material, which came out to about $35. And I already had the paint and everything else I needed. I do want to add a door sweep at the bottom of the door, so I'll get that the next time I'm out of the home center. So now I can scratch off one more thing from my honeydew list, but of course, as everybody knows, you scratch off one thing and you add 2 or 3 more. So thank you guys for watching. Please leave a comment, and I'll see you next time.